All right, good morning, educators. Welcome. This is a talk with Janet Mackay. This is her talk on gratitude for the weekly dose of gratitude. Janet Mackay is a highly sought after motivational speaker, most known for incredible passion and high energy for helping people realize the power they have to create a massive ripple effect of positive energy and impact throughout the world. For over 14 years, she has developed and operated youth summer programs, creating outstanding experiences for thousands of kids and their families. She firmly believes that everyone has a platform to do great things for great people, with opportunities to act in service on purpose for a purpose. Her signature talk, The Power of the Drip, has been featured on both live and virtual stages, inspiring audiences everywhere on the power each of us has to be a drip that rips and not a drop that plops. Shifting the mindsets of students and adults to focus on how the choices they make at any given moment can cast a ripple effect of positive energy, changing the trajectory of another person when its intention is used to show kindness, compassion, and connection towards others. Janet Mackay is also a founder of INPact Academy, a platform to share engaging stories through interviews with kids, adults, and businesses around the world who are jumping in to make an impact in people's lives with intentional positive actions. The Academy also provides life skills training utilizing summits, online programs, special events, and group coaching. She believes together we can create a tsunami of positive energy throughout the world and hold steadfast on our mission for all people to be the change they want to see in the world by making an impact, one drip at
Hello, Shyla. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm not certain if we are frozen at this time because I see your face is frozen like a snow person. So I'm just going to start talking in the event that it's only frozen on one side. Oh, there we are. We're back. So hi, were we frozen on one side?
I think so. I think we might have been frozen on my side.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So thank you for that awesome introduction. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, and how are you?
It is so awesome to see you again. It's you're just like this big rainbow of light. So I'm thrilled to be here. So thank you.
Thank you as well. And also for the audience, if you are here with us, say hi in the chat. Please feel free to make comments or ask questions as well. I'll be watching those.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, I'm not certain if everybody in this group knows, but Shyla and I met recently when she was so gracious to jump onto a summit that I was having for the youth sector and just did a phenomenal, phenomenal job on helping us all connect with our mind, body, and spirit and just doing some breathing and ways to calm. And especially during this time of year, with everything that's going on, we need it more than ever. So it's just so great to be here. And just let me know if you want me to just dive right in or what you'd like me to do, Miss my
You
friend.
can dive right in. Thank you.
All right, diving right in is the drip that rips and not the drop that plops. So many people will hear that and they say, what in the world are you talking about? What does it mean to be a drip that rips? And the true meaning behind it is the power of the impact. And the beautiful part about that is I have people that will stop me and say, Janet, I think you spelt it wrong. And I say, oh, no, 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 because this impact is a true impact, because what it entails is it's an intentional positive action towards another human being. It's people that are truly making a choice and a decision to jump in to make a difference in another person's life. So that's where INPACT comes to play. And I often will go into schools and community centers and businesses and talk about the power of this little teeny tiny drip, because most of us are such visual people, and we all agree that we are all energy, that our thoughts are energy, that our feelings are energy, that our words are energy, that our actions are energy, and that the world around us is completely energy. That's what we all are comprised of, right? So the power of the drip is literally, if we are to picture it, picture this beautiful tiny little drip just dangling from a leaf, and it's hovering over this puddle. And as that drip just falls from that leaf and makes impact to the water, what we see happens is the motion that it occurs upon impact, that this little drip will create a ripple effect where you'll see movement coming outward, ring by ring by ring. Well, the same thing happens as we project our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our words, and everything towards other people. So the premise behind the drip that rips is that all of us have the choice and ability to change the trajectory of another person's life by simply showing kindness and compassion and connection with others. And as Shyla had spoken about, I've been operating youth programs and summer camps for over 14 years. And what I found recently is that we all have this incredible platform to do great things for great people. And in 2014, it started in my summer camp program with 400 pounds of spaghetti. And it was an opportunity where all of our campers had this chance to swim in 400 pounds of spaghetti, because where else would you do that but at camp? And I know you have kids, so they're probably going to want you to fill the bathtub up tonight for them. And it really
awesome.
it truly was just an incredible situation. And what we found is that when there is energy created by a certain event or theme or action towards something, that there is this amazing energy that happens from it. Now that year, Robin Williams had passed away and he had committed suicide. And I know right now suicide rates are at an all-time high. And what we found from that situation, when we paid tribute to him for his role in the movie Patch Adams, for being a doctor that treated the patient and not just the disease. And an 84-year-old woman had this burning desire that what she wanted to do in life was to swim in a giant pool of spaghetti. And hearing this, Robin Williams, AKA Patch Adams, which was a true story, made this happen. So when we were having our spaghetti swim that year, and Robin Williams had committed suicide that Monday, we paid tribute to Robin Williams for the role he played in Patch Adams and dedicated our swim to that. And what I found was the same thing. Just as that swim made an impact on that 84-year-old patient who had given up, who had stopped, thriving, stopped desiring to live. But when he flipped that switch on inside of her and said, you know what? This is what's going to make her happy. Let's do it and do more of that. All of a sudden she started grinning ear to ear. And I found that as well with all the kids inside of our program. From there, stories of impact just started coming to me. Stories where children were jumping in to raise money for a teacher in their school with a special ability child who wanted to learn how to ride a bicycle, but needed an adaptive tricycle. And so this 12-year-old girl raised and grabbed a group of friends and said, come on, let's raise some money, and presented this teacher with a check so that this mom teacher could provide this adaptive tricycle for her son so he could learn to ride. And that to me was just a drip and a ripple. And from there, story after story after story. And that's what I do now too, is I interview people from all over the world who are jumping in to make an impact. And the story of the drip is now becoming a worldwide movement, which I'm so happy, well, in my mind it is, because I'm so happy about that, because it's the simplicity of doing kind things for people that will create the change that we truly want to see in this world. And right now, this month of all months, we focus on gratitude. That to me is the strongest, most powerful energy that we can put forth. On those days when we perhaps are feeling more like a drop that plops in sludge, when we put forth gratitude and we wake up with a grateful heart, and we wake up with 5 statements of gratitude every single morning, and mine always start with thank you. Thank you for the breath that's in my lungs today, so I can have that, so I get to have another day to make an impact on another person's life. On those days right now, when you just are hitting curveballs and they just keep coming at you, and you keep just getting knocked down, wondering if it's ever going to end. This pandemic has resulted in that tenfold, because there's constantly something that's being taken away, or things that we can't do, and family we won't be able to see together body to body over Thanksgiving tomorrow. Yet there's always something to be grateful for, that we get to have this opportunity to connect on Zoom, that we get to have food on our table for perhaps a smaller crowd that we'll have at our house tomorrow. But there's always something to be grateful for. And on those days when you just don't feel like it's worth anything, get out there and do something kind for someone else. And that will change your own trajectory of how your day is going to be, because it's the law of reciprocity. It's all laws of nature. It's all laws of energy. Just go out and do something for others, and it will come back to you tenfold and fill your heart so that you can continue to move forward. So one thing that I often have people do, especially during this pandemic, is write a letter to COVID of 19 things that they are grateful for, or that they were able to get out of this time that we've had together, to slow down, to stop doing all the crazy running around that we've been doing. As hard as it's been, and there are people that have lost their jobs, and people have lost their lives. I mean, this is serious stuff. But even through that, the lessons we need to reinforce with each other, and especially with our children, is that there is something good that we can take out of it. So we write a letter of 19 things that we've gotten out of it, and it just flips the switch from that potential crappy state to a happy state, because now all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, I got to finally work on that project, or oh, my family and I are now actually sitting down together and having dinner together, or doing a puzzle together, or whatever it is. And I've seen communities after communities rallying together. Whenever there's a need, I find there's communities that rally together for a common good. And that's that ripple effect. And you feel that energy. You can't help but feel so good when you know that you've done something good for someone else. So that's the power of the impact. And the more that we can continue to provide opportunities for young children, as educators, as community leaders, as parents, as people with just responsibilities within their own community to be a drip, is that children will shine. They thrive when they are given and provided those opportunities to do great things for great people. And the more that we do that, the more positive energy that will continue to ripple throughout the world. And it just is the most glorious and beautiful thing. This morning, every morning I go down to the beach. I'm blessed that I live about 6 minutes from a beach with a beautiful boardwalk, and there's even a trail through some wooded areas that has like a stream, and there's a bench that I can sit on then and just like listen to the water and have the sun, and it's just so glorious. And that's my place. That's my happy place that I get to go to. And this morning was just one of those mornings where my heart was so overwhelmed with just awesome beauty and energy and just so much gratitude. You talk about this month, and I love what you're doing on your platform, Shyla, with just highlighting that which there is to be grateful for. And all around us, there is so much beauty and gorgeousness and miracles, and there's just so much to celebrate that I just don't know where to even stop with it. And so I know that every night when I go to bed and I take out my journal, I list 10, 5, 10, 15, depending on where my mood is, of things that I'm just so grateful for. And then I pick one. I pick that one that just really stands out. And the reason why it's such an impactful practice at night is because it forces you to go through a listing of all of that you were grateful for throughout your day. And it just kind of brings it back up to the surface. And then when you focus on that one, which is so powerful, it puts your mindset into a better place so that you're going to sleep with a more positive and healthier mindset, which is going to continue to filter through so that you wake up with a bigger pep in your step and walk throughout your house with your 2 feet. And those 2 feet are purposefully there so that with every step, you can say those magic words and the biggest prayer out there for gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, wherever you walk. So that's part of my message to all of you today, is to just truly, truly, as hard as it gets, when that sludge just is just, rising up and you just aren't sure how you're going to trudge through it, is that to just focus on that which you get to do. And that is, each and every day is a gift. Please, please do not worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, because we have absolutely no control over that. And try not to focus on that which happened yesterday, because it's already over. But what we can control right now is the present. Right now, be in the now, be here, be present with your families, be present with your students, be present with your community, and be present with yourself. And you'll then set the stage and the tone in your home and throughout your community the way you kind of want it to be, vibing high and just filled with joy and gratitude for each and everything that you get to do. Take the have tos away, get tos. Those are the true gifts.
Oh, that is so powerful. And I just have the chills when you talked about being in the present moment. I do have a question for you. When we have a lot of curveballs thrown our way and it is hard to see what we have to be grateful for, what advice do you have for anyone that is just really looking around and they feel like they've just been met with obstacle after obstacle and obstacle and nothing seems to be going right? How do we find the place of gratitude in all of that?
It's awesome that you asked that question, and I get it asked often, because I have such a positive outlook about life in so many regards, and people will often refer to me as like being Mary Poppins on crack, and it's just like I'm just always so up. But here's the deal, I'm not. It's called life, and life is going to happen, and these things are going to happen, and for some people it happens over and over and over. And like you said, I call that the Eeyore versus the Tigger syndrome, where there's just some of those days where it's just like you're heavy, and it's just like, yep, there's the black cloud hanging over my head, here it comes again. And we have to be very mindful of our thoughts at that time, because you'll notice that if you get out of bed without gratitude and you stub your toe on the bed, and then all of a sudden you're walking to the bathroom and you drop your phone into whatever, if you have your phone with you in the morning, maybe you don't, but I know most people now, just as soon as they wake up, they're carrying their phone wherever they go. It all of a sudden just sets off this whole chain of reaction. So the way to break the chain is to make a shift. And the way to do that is, if you keep doing what you're always doing, you're always going to get what you've always got, right? So that's something that I like to help people shift out of, is that allow yourself the time to have a pity party, or to give yourself grace. Listen, news is going to come your way that's just going to hurt, and it's going to be painful, but it's called life, and it's going to happen. We can't pretend that we're living in a bubble where everything is unicorns, rainbows, and glitter dust, right? We all realize that. But how we react to those situations that are thrown at us is the most important key. So we have to remember that this is a moment. This too shall pass. How can I use what I know right now with the lesson I just learned from this curveball to help and serve someone else? To, again, at that moment, in order for you to shift your vibration, to shift your mindset, put on some music, sing a song, write a letter to someone that you haven't spoken to in such a long time, and just let them know that you had a funny thought or a happy memory and you just wanted to send it to them. This day and age, when you get a letter that's handwritten, is oh so glorious, right? Usually it's a quick text, hey, thinking of you, but a handwritten letter, or just do something that can help shift you out of it. I know people right now with mental illness and mental health issues, that just getting out of bed is so hard. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mel Robbins, countdown, get out of bed, start making the shift, making the change. Find those things that light you up and do more of that. And again, when those days happen and those curveballs come and you are knocked down, as Les Brown says, make sure you land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. So that is something that is just so important. And that's the other reason why I have people keep gratitude journal, Shyla, is because on those days when it just is suck, right? Is that you just can open up this journal. And as my daughter once said, when she opened it up on my nightstand, she's like, whoa, Mom, you're like so grateful for so much. It reminds you that there is good that you've had, that there is other things to look forward to. And literally make sure that you're taking care of your self-care. Make sure that you are sleeping enough, that you're drinking tons of water, staying hydrated, and that you're getting out for some physical activity, and that you're fueling your mind with positive podcasts, with inspirational speeches, with inspirational music. And just when you get your body into some sort of physical state, it helps get you it helps lift the heaviness that's around you. So I know it was kind of like a long-winded response, but it really is shift where you are right now to somewhere else. And make sure that you're taking care of this mind, okay? This space between your ears is so important. And I know we've even spoken about it, because we'll clean our homes, we clean ourselves, we wash our clothes. Our hygiene is important. At least I hope it is for everybody. Right?
Right.
Make sure that we're also cleaning what's here. And we have to make sure that we don't allow what's here to affect what we need to have happen here. So make sure there's this heart, mind, and connection. And again, find those things that do light you up on the inside and just do more of that, and get outside and feel the warmth on your face. Go take a ride, go walk, splash in a puddle, do something that you did in your childhood that made you feel silly, and just do that. Just do more of that, and allow yourself the pity party. Just don't stay there too long.
Right. I always find that, well, emotions are really just to give us information, right? They're not for us to grab onto or grip onto and make it a state of being day in, day out. And I always find too that the more resistance that I have means the more growth that I need, or that I need to have throughout that situation. So thank you for bringing that up, and finding ways to help us be gratitude feel gratitude when it's hard to see what we can be grateful for when we're just having so many obstacles in life.
It's true. And so often people think that life is happening to them. Life is happening for us. This is a gift that we get to have. So let's make the most of it, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We could all, oh, God willing, not get hit by a bus or whatever it is. So just live full out today. Eat your chocolate cake before your Brussels sprouts. I don't, but like truly, just celebrate. And I brought Brussels sprouts up because my friend just showed me this whole Brussels sprout thing on stock. I literally said, I'm like, oh, is that how they come? She's like, yeah, they're not they don't grow in a bag. And I was just literally, and that's, which just brings up another point too, is just connecting with nature. We have somebody that was on our summit who is an ecotherapist, and that is so true. Nature will also shift your down moments into a positive state. Nature. Literally, I laugh at people and I say, go hug a tree. But I hugged a tree this morning. But it really is. There is something so magical about the world that's outside, not here. That is just a true emotion shifter.
Yeah, I would agree. And with my mindfulness and yoga training, there's been a lot of emphasis on getting out in nature, particularly at times where we're just feeling really imbalanced and we're just, down and out. And so even now in Minnesota, we have our crazy winters here. So in the wintertime, I can't tell my boys to go out and walk around barefoot. But in the summer, I tell them as much as possible to be barefoot, just so that they can make that connection and get the balance of the earth. And we don't have to do as much work then to reset our own systems.
Oh, beautiful. And then even still, you get that beautiful, you can sit by a window and just feel that amazing sun like glistening off of the snow, or to see all the shimmers of the sun glistening on the snow too, and just open up a window and just feel that cold air with that sunshine on your face is so magical, so beautiful.
Yeah, yes, I agree. The sparkles are everywhere once it snows and the sun is shining.
Oh,
So- well, thank you so much, Janet, for being on and for presenting today. I really appreciate what you had to say, and it is true. Just the smallest little actions can make the biggest impact to people around us and in this world. And you are clearly out there making an impact with everywhere and with everyone.
thank you. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you and your family just have the most blessed and beautiful Thanksgiving this year, and just celebrate just everything that it stands for.
Thank
Giving.
you as well, and I hope yours has a nice holiday too. Now, if people want to find out more about you, Janet, where should they go?
I'm all over social media on Facebook and Instagram, Janet Mackay. And then I also have a website at janetmackay.com.
Okay, I'm going to post that in the chats so that people can access your website and reach out to you. I believe, do you have a Facebook group as well?
I do. I have a Facebook group as well, INPact Academy. And then also my private one too, Janet Mackay.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get that shared. Thanks again for your time this morning. And it's just so lovely to talk with you and meet with you. And I just appreciate all that you had to share.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.